You are standing on the shore of a world that has no name for you yet. The sun is barely risen, the water behind you is still dark. And anchored in that darkness, 11 ships. Your only way home. The men around you are whispering. Some have not slept. Some are counting the days since they left Cuba. Some are already thinking about turning back. Hernan Cortés is watching them. He knows what fear looks like when it spreads through an army. He has seen it before. And he knows that if he lets it live, it will kill everything. So he gives the order. The ships burn. Not all at once. Some are run aground, stripped of their iron and cordage, then left to rot in the shallows. Others take fire. The wood catches, the smoke rises over the water, and 550 men stand on a foreign shore, watching the last road home disappear into ash. There is no way back. Cortés had sailed from Cuba in February of 1519 with a force that no serious military commander would call an army. 500 soldiers, a handful of horses, a few small cannons. Against what? He did not yet fully know. The governor of Cuba, Diego Velázquez, had authorized an expedition of trade and exploration. He had not authorized conquest. He had not authorized this. Cortés had already exceeded his orders before the ships even landed. Velázquez had tried to revoke his command at the last moment. Cortés had sailed anyway. He was operating outside the law of the empire that sent him, in a land whose scale he could not yet measure, with no reinforcements coming and no permission to be there in the first place. And still he burned the ships. Among his men, the fear had a specific shape. It had taken form in the stories that had reached them through translators and coastal traders and frightened messengers, stories of a civilization in the interior, a city built on a lake, an emperor who received tribute from 100 subject peoples, warriors who did not break, priests who built towers to the sky and fed them with blood. The Aztecs. The soldiers had heard the name before they understood it, and now, standing on this shore with smoke at their backs, they were being told to march toward it. Some refused, not openly, not yet. But the murmuring was there, men calculating odds, men thinking about wives, about the sea, about choices they could still make. And Cortés let them think. He walked among them. He did not threaten. He spoke of gold and glory and the will of God, and when he had said everything that could be said, he reminded them of the simple fact they already knew. There are no ships. There is only forward. The anger came first, then silence, then something harder, a resignation that slowly compressed itself into resolve. These were soldiers. They understood what it meant when retreat was removed as an option. It meant you fought differently. It meant every battle became the last battle. It meant the math of survival changed completely. Cortés had not just destroyed an escape route, he had manufactured an army. They marched inland in the late summer of 1519. The terrain rose quickly, tropical lowlands giving way to highland passes, thin air and cold nights. They encountered the Tlaxcalans, a people who hated the Aztecs with a fury that Cortés immediately recognized as useful. They fought first, then negotiated. Enemies became reluctant allies. The force grew. Word spread faster than they traveled. Word of the strangers from the sea, of animals no one had seen before, horses that moved like water and struck like thunder, of weapons that made fire and smoke, of men who would not stop. Moctezuma, emperor of the Aztec world, received the reports from his messengers. He sent gifts. He sent warnings. He tried to understand what was coming toward him and found that he could not. By November, Cortés stood at the edge of the valley where Tenochtitlan waited, a city of 200,000 people, gleaming in the lake, larger than anything in Europe. He looked at it, his men looked at it, and no one turned back, because there was nowhere to turn. Everything that followed, the alliances, the siege, the fall of the greatest empire in the Western world, everything flows from one morning on a beach in 1519, when a man looked at his only exit and destroyed it on purpose. He did not win because he had no choice. He won because he took that choice away.